Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to our August, I almost said July, our August nation call. And so sorry that I forgot to put the Zoom code in the event for you guys, but just know it's pretty much going to be the same every single nation call event, all of the things. So just, put it on your dry erase board and we'll memorize this number by heart. But um, we had an incredible July, you guys. July was so much fun. We're kind of wrapping up the summer season now, right? And so I know a lot of y'all are probably in that season where, hey, you're counting down the days until the kids go back to school. You're craving some structure. You're craving some routine. Maybe summertime has just been full of craziness. Maybe I know some of you guys have been traveling a lot. And you're kind of ready to just get back on the grind. So, whatever season you're in, you guys, I will tell you something that's so special about August is what we do this month is going to dictate what our fall looks like, right? Like our summer activity dictates our fall. And for those that have been around for a little bit, you know that Q4, like October, November, December, is usually huge in our business and can be incredibly huge. But our business works on those 30, 60, and most of the time 90-day cycles, right? And so what we're doing right now, what we're doing this month, is what we're going to see in November, December. And you guys, this is the way we're going to close our year. And so 2025 is already more than halfway over. And so we've got a couple months left to hit it running. July was awesome. I want to especially congratulate Tina Waldo, who is our newest district manager. And so congrats to Tina. I know she's on this call. So huge congrats to Tina for promoting to district manager. And you guys, she does that alongside being an attorney. I'm just gonna say. So like when we talk about like, oh, I'm too busy, or people think that they're too busy, homegirl is a whole lawyer and also a district manager. And so Tina, I can't wait for the day that you go, I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne, and then like doing law is kind of my little side hustle. Like, I can't wait for the day that you can say that. I know it's coming. So, congrats to you. And then, you guys, just for July recognition. So, for enrollment of new, our top three, third place was actually a tie between Stacy Jackson and Jennifer Dixon. And so, congratulations to both of them. You guys, they're both also fairly new consultants. And so, for them to be top of the leaderboard, it just shows it's that new energy, right? It's that new excitement. It's that having something to talk about and people to talk to. And all of us still have that same energy. We just get to create it. Second place was Christy Thompson. And then first place was me. And then for bonuses, you guys, Trisha Malik and Saskia both hit their district bonus, so extra $200 for them. Congrats. Christy hit her area bonus, so extra $400 for her. Congrats. And then I hit trifecta, so extra $600 for me. And then our brick earners were Christy, Jamie, Saskia, Trisha, and Brittany Loudermilk. So congrats to everybody for all of the July recognition. And now we're into this new month. We're 7 days into August. You guys, we have the new Omegas that just launched. And so just a fun, something kind of different, right? Something kind of new. But I know a lot of people have been hitting me up and they're like, I've been taking Omegas from another company. And I'm so glad that I now get to streamline that into my Arbonne order. So who do you know? Think about that. Like sometimes we don't necessarily feel excited to reach out if it's not a new fizz or a protein flavor. But think about who do you know that's probably already using Omegas from another company because Arbonne hasn't had them. And so that's an opportunity to reach out about something new, you guys, and go, hey, are you using anything right now? What do you love about it, right? And then you can kind of help them with the comparison, see where Arbonne racks and stacks with that. And then you can say, hey, I know you're already ordering, protein or your fizz. Like this is a way that you can bulk it into your monthly order or quarterly order, whatever it is, right? But take a look at some of your clients, especially you guys, your loyal clients, people that you can kind of count on to order a couple of times a year, and ask them, are they using an Omega? Tell them the benefits of it. If they're using another brand, would they be willing to switch to yours? So and then we also have free PC sign up with 150 QV. So really leveraging that one. This is just a good way to follow up with people that have been on the fence, that haven't committed, that are kind of back and forth, in and out. I'll tell you guys something that I did the other day. You guys might have seen my Facebook post, but I said, I'm going to send a goodie bag off to the first 10 people that comment that have never tried Arbonne. Um, And one of the comments on there was, what if you haven't tried it in a really long time, right? And so this was a girl that used to be a client. She probably hasn't ordered in like 2 or 3 years. And so it was a good opportunity to follow up with her and say, hey, girl, like, all the stuff that you used to love, it's even better now. Like, we've got it new, we've got it improved, we've got better flavors, all of the things, better formula. So it was just an opportunity to get into conversation. And then when these people said, me, what I'm doing, you guys, is messaging them. And so somebody, I think Melissa Riddick asked, hey, what are you putting in the goodie bag? It's going to be different for every single person because I'm trying to meet a need, right? So say that, Ann comments, I might hit Ann up and say, tell me a little bit about kind of some of your health and wellness goals right now. Do you use a skincare line? Do you love it? Are you looking to add more protein to your diet? Are you struggling with your gut, with your energy? Whatever her problem is, that's what's going to be in her goodie bag, right? So that's the problem that I'm looking to solve. Most of them, I'm going to give that Derm Results 5-step sample card. I'm going to give some green synergy. I'm going to give a fizz. And then you guys, I ordered some little bags from Amazon to put our protein samples. So if you want the link to that, just hit me up after this, shoot me a message or something, and I can send you the link of the ones that I use. And I just like handwrite, chocolate or vanilla on it. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can print stickers or whatever if you want. But what I do, you guys, is I just, write on an actual card, like, I hope you love these goodies, and then I'll give a little bit of tips. Like, this is my favorite, recipe with the smoothie, or hey, blend this way, just our normal tips for people. So that's kind of August in a nutshell. Those are some of the things that I'm doing that's getting me into great conversations. And then, of course, they're going to get their goodie bags. They're going to try their products. They're going to absolutely love it. And then I get to say, hey, by the way, it's completely free for you to sign up this month. But it promotes that sense of urgency. So you guys, if you're going to do the goodie bags and give some stuff out, do it early in the month so that they have time to get it, use it. You have time to follow up. And then they still have time to get that free PC sign up this month. Okay, so right on to the training, because you guys, I've been having a lot of conversations one-on-one with so many of y'all, and especially so many of y'all that have been in the business for years. And somebody that I was talking to the other day, I'm not going to call you out, but somebody I was talking to the other day, she said, Ashley, I'm getting whiplash from the ups and downs of the business, right? I'm getting whiplash. And so she said, I feel like I'm just on this roller coaster. I don't ever know what the month is going to bring. Sometimes I finish the month and I go, oh my gosh, that was an incredible month. And sometimes I finish the month and go, ugh, that was disgusting and terrible, And so she said, there's just so many highs and lows. I didn't expect this, and I was like, oh, hey, sister, welcome to entrepreneurship. And so we got to talking. And one of the things is all business is cyclical, right? Like she had to kind of think back to when she used to own a brick and mortar business, and she was like, you know what, it was the exact same. Summers typically felt a little bit slower. Things picked up in the Q4, like right before Christmas, everything was booming. January, it was a huge boom, right? All the clearance sales. So she was like, that's so true. I just thought it was going to be different with Arbonne. But you guys, I want to give you just like a real life example, because some that have been for a long time, do y'all remember 2019? Like, we loved 2019. Wasn't 2019 a fun year? It was right before COVID. Like, sales were absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like, we were selling so much Arbonne, it was crazy. We broke the internet in 2019 with Blood Orange Fizz. Do y'all remember that? I know Ann does, because we worked out a trade for Blood Orange Fizz and Charmin during COVID, y'all. That's how like good this stuff was. But I want to give you an example, because if we fell into this comparison trap or thought, oh my gosh, my business used to do this number and now it did this number, we're going to drive ourselves crazy. So I'm going to tell you a real life example. Last month in July, we did a third as a nation of what we did in 2019. Our numbers were a third of what they were in 2019. So I could go, oh my gosh, we used to do 3 times more than we did, right? Or I could look at it and I could go back to our first July. We did 49 times more than our first July. Do you see what I'm saying? And so perspective matters so much. We did 49 times more last month than we did our first July in business. So it's what I decide to focus on, right? Where am I going to put my mindset? Oh, we used to do these numbers in 2019, or look at how far we've come, right? I've used that training analogy about the gap and the gain before. The gap is you only see how far you have to go still, whereas the gain, it shows how far you've come. And you guys know business grows year over year without some dips, but it's in our dips that we grow the most, right? The business might grow in different areas, but we grow the most in the dips. And we have to be so careful about just protecting our mind and not allowing ourselves to be in a season of worrying about numbers. And y'all, I know this is probably not popular business training. And I'm sure that there's so many other MVPs that are going, sell, 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 promote, 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 bonus, bonus, bonus. And yes, I want every single bit of that for y'all. But at the same time, you're a better human than somebody that just worries about numbers. Does that make sense? And so I don't ever want you to like be a part of Arbonne and feel like, oh my gosh, all people cared about was like me selling or me promoting or my numbers or my bonuses or my volume. I want you to have everything that you want in this business, but I also want you to lay your head down at night and know that you are so much more than your numbers. Your worth, you guys, is in your work, is in your work, the actual output, the serving that you do to people, the work that you do, the difference that you make in the world, the life that you speak into other people. Your worth is in your work, not in your numbers. It's not in your numbers. So instead of us being in this season where we're worrying about our numbers, let's choose to be in a permanent season of action. Let's just, you know what, I'm in a season of action, whatever that looks like. And that action is going to breed that productivity. And most of us, I know, are very, very type A, and we thrive on achievement and we thrive on productivity and we like to feel very accomplished. You guys, if you're in a season of action instead of a season of worry, it's going to breed that productivity. And so when you're in the dip, whether it's your numbers or your mindset, that's when you lean in more. Like that's when you say, I'm gonna have more action. I'm gonna get into more activity. I'm gonna focus on being productive, not just busy. And so tonight, I'm gonna share 3 tips on productivity. And these are gonna be those quick little things that you can just kind of pull out of your pocket in a moment's notice when you feel yourself kind of getting in those funks or those lulls or those moments where you feel like, oh, like I know what I need to do. I just need to do it, right? Those conversations. But you guys, what we can get out of our experience in our mind is in exact proportion to the time and effort that we put in. So our experience is only going to be as good as the time and effort that we put in. And I don't know about y'all, but I want to have a great experience. Like I want to have fun doing this business. I want to have fun working with everybody. I don't want, if I wanted, a stressful job, I know exactly what I could go back to, right? But I don't want to do that anymore. Like I want to enjoy, my productivity. I want to enjoy accomplishing things. And one of the greatest things, that I've learned in my years, I guess, of being an entrepreneur is that information without action is useless. My mama used to say, like you coulda, shoulda, woulda, never did a thing. You coulda, shoulda, woulda, never did a thing, right? So we can talk about all of these things that we could do or we should do or we would do, but if we never actually execute, it's just wasted potential. And so I want this training to sink in, but you're gonna have to feel it with me, right? Like don't just receive and take notes. Like I want you to lean in a little bit and actually try to apply the feelings with the education and information that you're getting. So, okay, for these three tips that I'm going to give you, you guys, we've got to apply binary thinking. Do y'all remember my long training on that binary thinking? Binary thinking is like it's black or it's white, it's yes or it's no, right? It's very like sharp, direct. The value of binary thinking is it allows us to get rid of the gray. And you guys, most of us are walking around with way too much gray in our brains, right? We've got all the fuzzy zone, the blurry zone, the unsure zone, all of that stuff that lives kind of in between. And so something like, for example, I'll get to it next week. That's a gray statement, right? That means like, I'm saying sometime next week I'll get to it. Whereas I'm going to do that on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Like it's scheduled, it's in my calendar. That's black or white, right? But because let's be real, like waiting until next week to do something, is that moving you towards your goals or farther away from your goals? That's that gray area. And using that binary thinking helps to kind of illuminate that middle of the road thinking and speaking. And so you leave no room for second guessing. And why I'm saying this, why I'm kind of prefacing the training with the binary is because it requires you to be completely real with yourself and being completely raw with yourself. And when I say these things, you are going to know either yes or no. That's me or that's not me. I'm there or I'm here, right? You're always going to know in our head, but it's the difference is what are we going to do about it if it's a no and you want it to be a yes, if it's a yes and you want it to be a no, what are we willing to change? So let's jump right in. Productivity habit number one, you're either climbing or sliding. And if you want to get really, really real through this training, feel free to drop in the comments, hey, this I'm climbing, or hey, I'm sliding. You can totally call yourself up. We don't call ourselves out, right? We call ourselves into our greatness. We call ourselves up to our higher power. But you guys, being brutally honest with yourself will help you determine, am I climbing or am I sliding? So questions to ask this, and this is not just numbers again. Are the people that I surround myself with moving me forward or backwards? Am I having healthy conversations? Am I busy or am I massively productive? Am I saying that I'm doing Arbonne, but I'm really just like cleaning and organizing my office and strategizing for the 80th time, right? Does this activity that I'm doing make me money, or does it make me feel good that I can say that I'm working? Is this income producing, or is this something that's actually helping me reach my next level? These can be tough, you guys, because they do force you to be brutally honest with yourself. And so, for example, people, right? Maybe some of the people that you surround yourself with, when you leave from being around them, you feel discouraged, or maybe you're questioning your own value, your own capabilities. So when you ask yourself truly the question, is this person moving me forward or backwards? You know the answer. You already know it. It's clear, but it's also a very tough pill to swallow. And at the end of the day, you guys, we're the sum total of the people that we allow to influence us. And so we've got to be really careful and use discernment when we say, well, you know, that's just Tara. I've known her for a long time. Like I can just Tara's great. I'm just Tara was the first name I saw, but I could justify, well, I've known Tara since second grade, so I can't like unfriend her. Yeah, you can. You totally can. Like Tara's not paying your bills. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can. And so it's just, are you going to? I'm not telling you go out and just, defriend everybody on your Facebook that's ever annoyed you at any time. But what I am telling you is that these people cannot get all of your energy. You guys, you cannot let them suck it out of you, and you cannot let their words and their fears and their projections and their negativity steer your ship, right? There's two types of people in this world. There's battery drainers and there's battery chargers. And so you've got to be very careful of those battery drainers, because they will just suck the life right out of you. Now, another question on this, right, is climbing or sliding. Are you being busy or are you being productive? And this one's tough because sometimes we don't want to admit that maybe we're just busy, because it makes us feel like we're doing all of these things for nothing. But again, we're trying to not have any gray areas, right? So we can be like, oh, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm killing it, but you're busy. And so, for example, if you feel like you're in so much activity and you're having so many conversations and you're doing events and you're doing reach outs and you're posting consistently and you're sharing consistently and you're in tons of conversations, with people about Arbonne, but your signups have not changed, your sales have not changed, there might be something to look at there, right? Like you might want to reach up and ask your mentor, me, whoever, hey, take a look at what it is that I'm doing, because I feel like I'm doing all of this stuff, but like I'm not closing, or, something. And not that we get immediate results, but if you're doing all of those things consistently and none of the numbers are changing, there's something missing there, right? And so it's easy to have that perception that I'm headed towards my goals because you're always moving at full speed. But you guys, just because you're doing something fast and just because it feels busy, it doesn't mean that you have direction, right? You could be a Ferrari with no GPS. And so you're going faster than everybody else on the road, but you're not really getting closer to where it was that you said you wanted to go. And so when you know that like art of productivity, you can stop racing to get things done that don't serve your bigger future. And so you'll see that successful people, they seem to get 5 times as much done as the people that are just busy. Does that make sense? And so, like that book, The One Thing. What is the one thing? What is the one thing that you need to focus on in all of your areas of goals, your fitness, your faith, your finances, your business, your friends, your family, whatever categories you kind of have in life? What is the one thing that you need to do in that area to move you closer? What about one of the other, questions that I asked, is this making me money or is it preventing me from reaching my next level? so many people come into Arbonne and they're so excited. They've started their own business, and then months go by, years go by sometimes, and they really haven't made any money. So this is where the haters come in, right? Oh, blank percent of people never make any money in those kind of things. Why is that? Let's kind of open that up. Why is that? One of the main things is they're focused on the hustle instead of the productivity. And so maybe they're spending hours posting on social media. You make the best videos, but you never actually do the things to generate earnings. And that's a hard pill to swallow for people that love to hide kind of behind the screen, behind the camera, and not do anything in person. And you guys, there's ways that you can do it, right? I'm not saying don't use social media, but just know if you make a post on Facebook, that's not necessarily working your Arbonne business. Does that make sense? And so that's accessory work, that's advertising, but that's not getting out there and actually finding people to tell the Arbonne story to. And so one of the ways to kind of around this is remembering our why, remembering where it is that we're truly trying to go. Do you want more money? Do you want more freedom? Do you want more control of your time? Do you want to help other people? Like the picture has to be planted so firmly in your mind. And you guys, I'm going to ask you, since January, when's the last time that you went back and revisited your goals? When's the last time that you went back and said, man, you know what, I said this year I wanted to do XYZ. Have you let that kind of fall by the wayside? Have you taken a look at that? Have you reaffirmed that? Have you maybe rewritten that in fresh ink, put it up somewhere that you can see and go, no, I'm getting started back on this today. We don't have to wait until January 1st, 2026 to get after it, right? And so what is it that we want? And then are you willing to cultivate the discipline and stay in control of your life and not get sidetracked by busy, but truly stay focused on productive? And you guys, this means we've got to say no to some things, right? So we can say yes to better things. And, one of the things that I remember, me and Sarah Handy, my upline, we were talking about this the other day because we were talking about when we very first met. And I first started Arbonne and I went district pretty quick. So then I was trying to go area. She had just finished region, and we were like going, like she was ready to go nation. She was just like, I'm promoting through region to nation. I'm like, I promoted through district to area, and we were like so laser focused on what it is that we were going for, what it is that we were doing. And there were so many times that we literally only had 30 minutes combined. I'm not even talking a 30-minute setting. I'm talking 5 minutes here, 7 minutes here, 4 minutes here, right? A 30-minute total to work our business. And I guarantee you, those 30 minutes that we had were so focused, so laser focused on income producing activity. It was sharing, it was selling, it was enrolling. It wasn't spent on a training call. It wasn't spent on making a good post with a great caption. It wasn't spent on making a cute boomerang or, Instagram story. Those things were great when we had more time, but the times that we were like, boom, 30 minutes, that's it. Like it was income producing activity. And so, or like Christy Thompson taught me to call it growth oriented activity, right? Because it doesn't always immediately produce income, but it always produces growth. And it's only scary the first time you do it. And so it was like, we would just get after it and be like, boom, I've got 30 minutes. I've got to, just get it done. So that was number one. You're either climbing or sliding. I do love y'all's comments right here. And I'm going to read all of those. So productivity habit number 2, are you in control or are you being controlled? And I'm not going to go too deep in the weeds on this one, but when we discipline ourselves, you guys, we're controlled by no one. And that's what I mean by in control. Are you in control of your own output, or are your excuses controlling you? And are they controlling where it is that you're going? This is why cultivating discipline in our business is so important. And anything that you do on your own, that you don't have a boss or you don't have somebody checking your work or over your shoulder, anything that you do like that is going to require you to cultivate discipline. So the only thing that you need to focus on when you're first starting out is exactly what I just said: selling, sharing, enrolling new clients and business partners. So most of us are still in that area, right? Like maybe we're not at the level that we want. We're not bringing the income in that we want. We haven't served enough people that we want to serve, right? There's still more that we want to do and more that we want to grow. So selling, sharing, enrolling, sharing, selling, sponsoring, new clients, new business partners. So if you are going to schedule your day around anything, Arbonne, schedule your day around those things and then stick to that schedule, right? Create deadlines for yourself, things that you know need to get done. Being in control, you guys, it means that we are disciplined enough to not get sidetracked by all of the noise that's constantly going on around us. So I want you to think about where maybe you have walked into a gym and you've sat down on a bench and you're surrounded by all of that exercise equipment, right? And you're sitting there on that bench and you're thinking, you're looking at, man, she's in great shape. Man, he looks super strong. Wow, he's got great form. You're just thinking and you're watching and you're looking. But instead of getting up and actually doing something, you just stare at all of the other people in the gym. And then you start to watch their workouts, right? Because you're like, gosh, Anne's in great shape. What is she doing? And then you're watching the workout and you're making the workout up in your head. Okay, she did 3 sets of that. She did 12 reps. Okay. Oh, what's he doing? Okay, he's doing this. Man, it looks like he's doing kind of some aerobic style. Oh, this one's doing CrossFit. This one's doing a lifting. You guys, you see where I'm going with this? You can start to wonder, well, which one's the best workout routine for me? And then you look down at your phone because you're going to kind of start searching which workout routine is best for a woman that's 40 that that has this is right. Like you start and then you get down that rabbit hole and a message, there's a ding, let me check that real quick, that only takes 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, now I see my Instagram notifications, I'll go through that. But while I'm on Instagram, oh my gosh, my favorite person posted some stories, let me watch her stories real quick. So then you're watching her stories, right? We've been there. All of y'all are smiling because you were like, oh, I've been there, sister. I was there just a minute ago, right? I was there waiting to get on this nation call. You've been there. And then you're like, okay, focus. I got to get back to it. So then you go, let me put my music on. I need my jam music. If I get the right music, then I'm going to be motivated enough to get up off this bench and get off this phone and then start doing something. And then, I'm going to go to my music. And then you get to the music and you go, I should make a playlist. You know what? You know what I need to do? I need to make a playlist so I can have all my gym music right here. So I don't even have to hit shuffle and go through. And, now that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking so much, I'm a little bit thirsty. And so I don't want just my water. I'm going to go over to this cafe and I'm going to grab some water and fill this up and then make me a fizz. And then I see, by the water fountain, there's the clock. Oh, it's time to leave. So now I've got to go because I've got something, the kids got a different thing. So I leave the gym and then I think, okay, next time I'm going to get a good workout in. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys, we can get sucked into these things so easily, so fast, and we don't even notice it. Now compare that to the person who comes to the gym. They're prepared. They've already got their playlist. They put their earbuds in. They've already had a double fizz as their pre-workout. They hit play. They get on the machine. They get after it. They just get after it. They're not worried. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the best workout? Is this the best routine? Is there something better out there? You guys, they just start moving. Who's going to be farther along? Who's going to be in better shape? It's going to be the person that had more discipline. And so discipline doesn't have to be a scary word. It's simply creating a habit out of an action that's going to get us where we want to go. That's it. Creating an action, creating a habit out of an action that will get us where we want to go. And so many times when we start to feel overwhelmed in this business, it's because we're not asking ourselves that tough question. Is this making me money or is this distracting me from getting to the next level? And we fall into that routine of working on all the things that don't really matter instead of working on the one thing that could drive us towards the bigger, the better, the wealthier version of ourselves. And we get bogged down with all of these minute things. We get frustrated. And as a result, we procrastinate. And as a result of that, we stay in the same place. It's that vicious cycle, right? It's that vicious cycle. But when you cut those things out of your day, you guys, cut those time wasters, cut those time suckers, you will see that that space starts to open up and that feeling of overwhelm starts to fade. And if you think for a second that you cannot do that you don't have what it takes, I guarantee you, if your phone rang right now and somebody said, I'm 7 minutes away from your house, I'm popping by real quick, how fast could you clean up? How fast could you get that living room straightened up? How fast could you, do things, right? It happens all the time. When your time expands, what is the quote? Time expands to fit. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to think of what this quote is. But it's basically time expands to fit the work given to it or something like that. But what it means is it's just like your college student or high school student right now. They were told 4 weeks ago that they have an essay due tonight. When do you think that they're going to start on that essay? Do you think it was 4 weeks ago when they found out? Heck no. It's due at midnight tonight. I'm starting on that sucker at 11:15 at best. Do you know what I mean? And so it's when we procrastinate, we're selling ourselves short about it, right? And so one of the things that we used to do book club a lot. Some of you guys remember that, but one of the concepts that we talked about is, what if we clocked in and out of our Arbonne business the way that we do a corporate job? Or what if we logged our actual income producing hours, our goal, our growth oriented hours? What if we logged those the way a pilot logs their flying hours, right? Like, it doesn't matter if a pilot's in training, it doesn't matter if a pilot's in the airport. The only hours that matter to a pilot is how often he's doing his actual job, which is getting a plane in the air, right? What if we only got paid, you guys, when we were, no kidding, doing the things that generate income? We would get so much more done. That leads me to our final habit, number 3. Okay, productivity habit number 3 is get real about time. Get real about time. Y'all know time is kind of my niche. Like, that's the thing that I could preach some sermons on. But the question, you guys, is not so much how much time do we need to spend putting these productivity habits into practice or working our business, right? It's not so much that, because the fact of the matter is that time and effort, they're both bendable. There's days, I mean, and we can get deep into this, all the women on here that have been studying like the phases of your cycle and all that kind of stuff, like, okay, luteal phase, I feel like this, and all the phases, right? Like, I know Brienne is super smart on all that. She could help you out. But you guys know there's some weeks out of the month that you feel super high energy, you feel creative, you feel excited, you feel like all of these things. And then there's times that you feel like, I've really got to talk myself into doing anything at all for Arbonne today, right? That's normal. That doesn't make you lazy. It makes you human. There's going to be some days that you can spend a lot of time on your business, but you might have very little effort or very little energy, right? So it's less about the number of minutes and more about the level of commitment to what time you do have allocated. Does that make sense? And so think about when you're at your regular job, or for those that are retired, when you used to be at your regular job, you may be at work for 8 hours a day, but you know good and well that you was not 100% productive all 8 hours of that day, right? Especially my military folks. Y'all know we spending a easy 2 hours of that shooting the breeze, huddling with our airmen. We're talking, we're just, catching up, we're yada yada. But it's the same with like the big homeschool movement, right? People say, oh, our kids like are usually in school for 8 hours a day. Well, when COVID hit and everybody was kind of forced to homeschool, all these parents were like, we get done in an hour, we get done in 2 hours. Like, what are they doing for the rest of the time in school, right? And so it kind of changed some of the things, because you see, when you like, hey, I got to get this done, and you didn't feel called to be a teacher, but all of a sudden you became one, you could get it done quick, because you know what? You were ready to go about your day. You were ready to continue doing the things that you wanted to do. Science says that most people cannot do more than 2 hours straight before their attention span starts to wander. And so think of the times that you've been working on something that, was Arbonne, it inspired you, you were motivated by the work that you were doing. Those are the moments that you might look at the clock and say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that it's already 11, right? Like, wow, this flown by and I feel like I've gotten so much stuff done. But on the other hand, when you're just going through the motions, you're doing the busy work, you might look at the clock and say, it's only 11. Is this day ever going to end, right? It's not even lunchtime yet. The difference is the level of commitment. You guys, it's not the time. The time was the same in both scenarios. It's your excitement, it's your level of commitment, it's your passion about it. And this is about focusing on productive work, not busy work, not personal stuff, but rather head down. I'm powering through my power list of earning, producing, growth oriented, income producing activity. And there are 3 types of days, you guys, that you can have when working this business. And the first time is the one that you dread. You say, man, I hope my Discover Arbonne doesn't go wrong. Like, what if my healthy happy hour doesn't work? What if everybody hates it? This is what you're thinking. And you send your brain kind of into that panic mode, right? Your stomach's going to be in knots. Nothing creative, nothing groundbreaking comes from the days like this. Second kind of day that you can have is uneventful. It's just uneventful. It's pretty routine. It's mediocre. It's not really good. It's not really bad. These are the kind of days someone asks you, hey, how was your day? And you go, it was okay. But you guys, I'm going to ask you, who wants a life that's just okay? Who wants an all the time mediocre status quo life? Who wants to fall into a routine where you have nothing memorable happen, right? Rose, one of Rose's uncles visited us the other day very spontaneously. And something that he always says every time he sees us is he'll say, "Tell me something good. Tell me something exciting. Tell me something that you're excited about working on right now." And it challenges me, you guys, because how many times could you go, I don't really, nothing's really coming to mind, but I love asking people that now. I totally hijacked that from him. And so I said, tell me something good. Tell me something that you're working on that's exciting. And then there's the third type of day, you guys. And this is the kind of day where you're on fire, where there is something good, there is something exciting. You're feeling courageous, you're feeling confident, you're taking control rather than letting everything else around you control you. Your enthusiasm is contagious. If somebody comes to you being a Debbie Downer or complaining, you're like, it's okay. We've got this. Because you know what? Your mindset is solution oriented. Instead of denying that there's a problem or procrastinating, you say, it's okay. There's a problem. I see it. I hear it. I acknowledge it. It is real. Let's tackle it head on. And then let's get right back to what it is that we were doing. And so I want to challenge you guys. Let's spend the rest of our year trying to have more of those third kind of days. We're not incapable of having them. None of us are born just energized and enthusiastic. I know I wasn't, but we do have the ability to create it using these productivity tips. And so recognizing why you want to achieve those great things and then using that to power your way through all of the things that are going to get in your way. And so this is a thought, you guys, that I've shared this before in the past, but this helps anchor me so much when I start getting distracted, when I start losing focus, when I start maybe forgetting a little bit about why I actually need to be committed, in this business. And I'm going to especially call out people that maybe you are making the income that you wanted to make and you're very comfortable. You guys, I'll tell you, MVP, it's not an uncomfortable life, right? And there's a lot of days that it's like, I could just kind of chill, honestly, and there's days that I justify it and I go, you know what, I've worked hard. I could just chill. I could just chill. But I've got three sets of eyes and I know that they're watching me. And I know that I want their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids to be able to have choices and options that maybe I didn't have. And I want them to be able to have that because of decisions that I make today. And so every time I allow myself to waste time, to be distracted, to be mediocre, right, not give it my best, I know that I'm losing the ability to create a legacy for the people that I love. It's bigger than just a day of bad habits. I'm losing piece by piece by piece of that legacy for the people that I love. And so I want to ask you guys real quick, just put in the chat, me, if this is you, who in here wants $1 million a year business? Who in here would love $1 million a year business? Anybody? Me? Okay. Jennifer, Tara. Yep. You guys want $1 million a year business. Who in here would like $2 million a year business? Jake, that would be great. 1 million% scares me. Okay. Who in here would like a $10 million a year business? Anybody? Okay. No limit, right? We could go all night for numbers, but what I can see is everybody wants a little something, something. You're like, one, I'll take that too. Okay, yeah, I will take that as well. 10 scares me, makes my tummy flip, but yes, I would love that. Let me do some math for you, okay? 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year, that's 8,760 hours. Okay. If you want $1 million a year business, then treat yourself like 1 hour of your time is worth $114.15. And you can write this number down. If you want $1 million a year, every hour of your time will cost you or be worth $114.15. $2 million, $228.31. An hour of your time, 1 hour, you guys, 1 hour of your time. That's how much it's worth. That's the value when you want a business that size. $10 million a year business, an hour of your time is worth $1,141.50. So let me ask you, if somebody was billing you by the hour for $1,141.50 and an hour of their time would cost you that, would you not go to them with your ducks in a row, with your stuff squared away? You're like, I need this to be 15 minutes so I can cut that cost in a fourth, right? You know what I'm saying? You would want to be like, I want to be as efficient as I can possibly be. Think about how you would do that for somebody else's time, and you guys, how easy we will waste our own. How easy we will doom scroll for an hour of our life when that could have been a power hour that we could have been pouring into our business to be able to get something else out. Tina charges $375 an hour. So, Tina, you're at like a $2.5 million business a year. Think about that, right? Like that is so powerful, you guys. So we can choose, we can make the choice. You know what? It's August 7th at 8:42 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Oklahoma, whatever time that is for you. We can choose. I'm going to be more strategic. I'm going to take more of my time back now. That way, I'm going to be able to give even more of my time back to the people that I love the most, the people that I can impact the most, the people that I say that I do this for can get the best of me, not just the rest of me. There's a reason that you don't need to be accessible to people at all times, right? It's okay to say no. It's okay to turn it off for a season while you're going for something. You guys, only desperate people are accessible every hour of every day. I said what I said. I know that's not popular, but our best self deserves to live in a proactive mode, not a reactive mode, not let me adjust to everybody else's fire. It's this is my schedule. This is my business. I treat this seriously. I am a professional. I don't waste my hours. And so when we start learning to say no to those distractions more than we say yes, we're going to start to thrive. And people are going to start taking us a lot more serious because they're going to see this is a business to her. And let me be very clear, okay, because this is not all about money. I know a lot of us came into this business for other reasons than just money, but I'm going to tell you if you came into this business because you want to be able to give back, you came into this business because you love community, you came into this business because you wanted to get healthy, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. More money earned allows you to do more of all of those things. More money earned allows you to do much more incredible things for the world. That extra that you can generate can have a massive, massive impact on the world. Something that Cecilia told me one time is that if you can cut a check for a problem, you don't have a problem. And it was just like, whew, there's a lot of things that I would love to be able to cut a check for to make that problem go away. I wish right now that I could end child sex trafficking. It drives me crazy. It makes my heart break. It keeps me up at night. I wish that I could cut a check to make it all go away. I can't. So I can still work, right? I still have an opportunity to do my part. Some of us have bills that we stress over. What if you could write a check and you could make it go away? Some of us are worried about our kids' college, our kids' school. What if we could write a check and make that problem go away? Some of us are in a season where we're concerned about our parents getting older and maybe they don't have enough for retirement or they're going to need somewhere to live. We're kind of that sandwich generation, right? We're raising kids and taking care of our parents. What if you could write a check and that problem goes away? Do you see what I'm saying? You guys, getting wealthy may not cure every problem, but it'll cure a lot of them. And, you know, something that my mama used to say is I would rather cry in a Bentley than cry on a bus. Okay. So maybe money's not going to make everything happy, but boohoo to me, I'd rather cry in a Bentley. And so think about all of the things that break your heart in life. Think about all of the injustices that are in our world. What if you could write a check and make that problem go away? And I just want to I want to share this with you because you guys, I was telling you, you know, kind of in 2019, we did, you know, X times as much, but, you know, our first year from our first July, this past July, we did 49 times more than that. I want to give you guys an example of faith and then backing it with work. A lot of you guys know Mary's Home, which is the women and children shelter that is so near and dear to my heart. So there was a year that you know we were not moving and grooving. I was not an MVP. I was not making significant life-changing income yet. I was making, you know, enough that we were starting to get a little bit more comfortable and pay down some debt. But Mary's Home had a celebration ball, and one of the things that was so special, you guys, was that was the first year that 17 women went into Mary's Home, which is a women and children's shelter where they go through a 4 year, like, pretty strenuous program, a rehabilitation program, gets them off of drugs, gets them back into the society. It's the only women and children's shelter in the US where they get to keep their kids with them full time, in their care full time. They have full medical, they have all the resources, they have access to everything they need, but they have to complete this 4 year program to graduate and continue to earn those benefits. If they, you know, don't follow the rules, if they get demerits, if they're late, if they don't do the things that they need to do, they're out of the program. So it's pretty strict. But you guys, this year was the first year, not this year, but the year that I'm talking about was the first year that all 17 women that started finished the 4 year program together. And so, you know, one of the things we used to say in the military every time we'd go to schools or classes is we'd say, 17 in, 17 out. That means like nobody left behind. We're all going to do this together. And you guys, these women did this 17 in and 17 out. It was the first time in Mary's home history that nobody failed out or left or got hooked back on drugs. And so it was such a huge success for the program and things that were going right. And so the people that were running Mary's home, what they wanted to do was have a celebration ball for these women, and they wanted to put together just like a little catered dinner and things like that. Well, me and a couple of other people kind of heard about it, and we said, let's do it bigger than that. Let's get every single one of these mamas. This makes me so emotional, you guys. Let's get every single one of these mamas a new cocktail dress. Let's get them something beautiful to wear. Let's get them some shoes. Let's take them to get their makeup done. Let's go let them get blowouts at the dry bar. They've never done this in their life. Let's let them get their little nails done. Let's let their kids get them a cute little dress. Let's feed them steak and lobster. This is life-changing work that they did. Let's celebrate them with more than like a chicken buffet line. Do you know what I'm saying? But that cost money. And you guys, that year, I was not making nation money. I was making area money, but there was a need. And when the number came out of how much we were going to need to donate to make this happen, it was much more than what I was bringing in. It was much more than I had extra for. But you know what? That was in August. And this ball was going to be in December. They were going to do an end of the year Christmas ball. And so, you guys, I had from August to December to make it happen. And you know what I did? I got laser focused, right? I stopped with the excuses. I, started like climbing instead of letting myself slide. I started taking more control, getting a lot more discipline instead of letting all of the outside noise control me. And I got very, very serious about my time and the way that I was engaging. And you guys, those women had the best celebration ball. These are people I will never know. They'll never know me. But you guys, some of you were a part of that and didn't even know it because you guys were on the team, right? And so that was the power of duplication. That was the power of having a laser focused vision of this is happening. This is what I'm working towards. I'm not getting distracted by this because other people are counting on my extra. And we were able to give them something that was so incredibly different. You guys, the difference that you make is so much more valuable than the dollars. So this isn't all about money. This is about what impact you're going to be able to have with that extra that you get. So I'm going to give you a call to action. I'm going to call you guys to lock arms with me, partner with me. Let's all go through this challenge together to eliminate our time wasters this month. What are they, right? Like, take a true inventory and go, what am I wasting my time on? And you know that it's a waste. Maybe it's not even a waste, but it's just not something that you have to do right now. Maybe it can go to another season. It can wait for now. So eliminate your time wasters. And you know what? Get accountable. Maybe you can even post on the Nation page. These are the time wasters that I'm eliminating. Like, I need accountability. Anybody else in there, with me? Second challenge, book 10 events yourself this month. Book 10 events this month. This can be in person, this can be virtual, this can be a combination of both. You guys, this doesn't have to look like a whole long, drawn out charcuterie board balloon arch type event, right? This can be, a couple protein balls thrown on the counter, your daily essentials bundle, and a couple of, butts in the seat of your living room. This can be 3 or 4 friends together on a Zoom. It doesn't have to be complicated, but book 10 events yourself this month. And then third is make it a goal to increase your CQV. Make it a goal to hit your brick this month. 2,500 CQV, 3 new people, like bare minimum goal. And I know you guys, every single one of us can do this if we get laser focused and we keep our priorities in line. We use those productivity hacks. So I love you guys so much. Thank y'all. I know this one went a little bit long, but we had some stuff to discuss tonight. So thank you guys so much. Let's freaking kick August in the pants and have just the best month ever. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon.